When I made this flaming dreadnought, I decided I wanted to make something a little bit smaller. And luckily, the dude from Blackrock Miniatures helped me to make a flaming... My name is your dad, and I don't think anyone knows that I'm filming this on my haunches. I mentioned it before in a video. I was going to make a marine shoot real fire, and I think I've done it until it exploded. Let me give you some context to this while I paint this marine in the background. I spoke to Blackrock Miniatures after I had made the dreadnought of his, and I really enjoyed his sculpts so much, and also he has the ability to do something that I needed for this particular project, and that was I needed a hole to go from the tip of the weapon all the way out of his foot so that I can attach a pipe onto either side and shoot flammable liquid through it in order to light it and make everybody go wow. I also needed him to make me another hole that went through his other leg all the way up to his neck, and so that I can run a cable all the way through his body and light up a little LED which is inside of his helmet. Now, of course, this is going to be stuff that is very complicated to do, and I will try my best to show you some of it in this video. Paint this guy in yellow because I am going to be painting a salamander later on, so before you rush to the comments and tell me it would have been better if he was a salamander, I don't really care. So also on the topic of the marine, I only had this version left. When I was sent the models, I got sent the models and I printed it in a very low resolution just to test whether it would work, and then promptly lost the file. So I didn't bother Blackrock Miniatures to get the files again because I'm not really that kind of person, and I just used the one that I had laying in the tray next to me at the side of my table. And this unfortunately meant that there are not the best layers of details on this particular model. There is also a bunch of hair that is all over the model, so in reality my paint job of this model is not the best, but we're not here for that. We are here for the excitement of making something that is a little bit different to the general thing that is on the tabletop that everybody makes every single day. While I am painting this head, it just occurred to me that I should remind you that if you have never ever seen Chris Buxy over on Instagram, my dude does some of the best tutorials for putting LEDs inside of Spacemarine heads. Originally, what I had was a helmet with the visors taken completely out. This does not look right. It doesn't work. Don't do it this way. What you really need is a helmet to be printed in clear and hollowed in the center, because you need to disperse the light across the lenses, otherwise it just looks really weird. I soldered a bunch of brass pipes together in order to make a network of piping to come out of the back of this base. The reason that I did this is because I wanted to deliver a flammable liquid to the tip of this Space Marine's shooting fire gat. Now, I also tried to solder this while it was on the Space Marine, and this wasn't the best idea, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure this is where most of my problems started. I then went to paint the rest of the base. One day while I was on Instagram, in the stories of El Miniaturista, I saw that he had the most epic diorama-y type base that I'd ever seen, at least for what I wanted to do, and this was made by Fabricators Lair. They are over on My Mini Factory, and I'm pretty sure on Colts as well. However, I will leave a link for where I found this STL in the description so you can go find it for yourself. I sprayed this with a purple from the back because I wanted to create some sort of lighting effect while the model is off, and maybe this would be enhanced while the model is on. I sprayed a light source over the tip of his gun just to keep the complete image of this picture not looking completely weird when there is no fire actually coming out of his gun. And then I proceeded to make the holes in his base, which I would need to run the cables for the lights as well as the piping for which to put the flammable stuff out of. I then added some ambiance and then proceeded to glue the space robot man boy onto his base. Now, this is probably where the next set of troubles arises. And I'm not really sure whether I have a leak here or I have a leak somewhere else. But there is definitely a leak, and this is going to come to play when you see me light this model later on. And just to prove that I actually did manage to get the Space Marine to shoot fire out of his weapon, here is that footage right now, because everything after this goes to shambles. Pretty much this is also where I called this model done. We have a leak. We definitely have a leak in the system. This video was just made for fun, and if you want to make something like this, I would suggest to be very careful because it could be dangerous. And I have no endorsement over whatever you decide to do after watching this. Also, I would like to say a special thank you to my patrons who allow me to put my studio in danger every week. And I'm gonna go make something robotic because I'm done with fire. I'm terrified of it now. Thank you to the patrons, thank you for watching the video, and share it with your gran, leave some words in the little square box down below, and now it's time to fuck off. I'm so over with flames. Unless